There you go. Yeah, I remember another player of that personality is Timur Garev, very similar to Jobava, and I remember a similar story about him failing his classes in college and basically cutting deals with his professors that if he beats them in poker, then they would pass him in school. I don't know if they ever took those type of deals. Obviously,
It would be a little bit unethical, perhaps,
unethical.
to,
Yes,
to
yes,
take that deal.
yes. You lose in poker against your student, then you have to pass him. Quite interesting. So, college. Tell us about college a little bit, Eric.
Yeah,
You
I mean, for the final, I'll be honest, for the final semester of college,
you're tuned out,
I
huh?
tuned out, but I was still learning a lot just through watching like just YouTube videos about things I was interested in between like photography, design, marketing. I went through the whole phase of like binge watching Gary Vaynerchuk,
Mm-hmm.
who was like a big kind of role model for me at the time. Was watching a lot on like social media, and I kind of had this inkling to start my own online brand in some way, like combining it with like web development. And I went through a phase of like buying website domains. So I had bought fmrosen.com, and then I became an IM. So I bought imrosen.com. Then I also bought gmrosen.com just in case. And like a bunch of other like kind of small chess projects and freelance projects. So I probably learned more from like outside the classroom
Yeah.
than like during class. Uh,
Was this like a strategy to just basically up your brand and put it out there, or was that just a passion to try to learn new things and being attracted to just that process of learning new things, I guess?
yeah, it was a mix of things. I mean, I think I realized at some point that, especially with my degree, it doesn't really matter if you actually graduate. It's all about your skill set and your portfolio and like what your knowledge is. So
And you weren't thinking of getting a 9 to 5 job at that point in graphic design or anything of that nature. You were just thinking about taking a gap year and playing chess, right?
that originally that was basically the decision I had made. I had one 9 to 5 job as like an internship in 2014 at Booz Allen Hamilton,
Yes.
which is like a very like professional government job. That Booz Allen Hamilton actually sponsored the Final Four of college chess, so they recruited a few chess players for this internship.
I think that was my
Uh,
final four.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah. And it made me realize that I didn't quite want to do the 9 to 5, like wearing a suit every day and working like a small cubicle office. I felt like there was more like interesting things to do as a career. So yeah, it was mainly about keeping my options open.
Was that just because of your creative personality, would you say? Would you attribute it to that?
Yeah, part of that, but also like because I didn't know what I wanted to do, I just wanted to learn as much as I could. And I mean, just consuming like podcasts and audiobooks. And yeah, like I think there was one audiobook by Gary Vaynerchuk called Crushing It, where
Hmm.
he just highlights all these kind of solo entrepreneurs like starting kind of their own
I was
business
probably listening
through
to the
social
same one.
media. Yeah, there's another one, Chris Guillebeau, who like he had a podcast called Side Hustle School. And every day it would be a 5 or 10 minute episode of someone like just making like doing the side hustle and making a few extra $1,000 a month. And like all these crazy ideas. I think he featured probably a few like chess players on it. But it just gave some inspiration of what's possible in
I
today's
think
day
it
and
was
age.
like 2017, 2018 when I was dabbling into streaming as well. And you
Mhm.
were starting about that time also.
Late
We were kind of
2017.
not necessarily competing with each other in terms of who has more
Sure.
followers because we both had like 800 and we were trying to get it to 1000.
Uh-huh.
When was that pivotal moment when you felt that streaming and YouTube and everything social media, uh, you will be able to transfer that into an actual profession?
I think it was very gradual. At in the beginning, I probably spent hundreds of hours basically working for free,
Yeah.
like streaming to very few people. And if you calculated my hourly rate wage, it would probably be way less than
two
minimum
dollars
wage.
maybe.
But I learned a lot through
Yeah.
doing that. I think one of the biggest skills I learned was actually like speaking in front of a camera, in front of an audience. And that was one of the big things that held me back at first, was just comfort level speaking in front of people, even if they're virtual online. Because I had the passion for teaching and kind of explaining chess and sharing my passion with chess. But I also had some stage fright and some insecurities, and just being able to start and get the experience, I think really helped. And yeah, it was kind of gradual growth of the channel, like on both Twitch and YouTube. Um, I think a big thing that helped at some point was I defeated Magnus Carlsen unknowingly in this like Lichess title arena. It was the first time we ever played, and he was playing anonymously. I found out after the fact it was him that I had beaten.
What was his handle?
It was Man with a Van.
Man with the van.
He was
I
playing
don't
from
remember
a
that one.
van. Like he apparently was playing on mobile,
Oh.
but he won the tournament, and
Hmm.
our game was one of his three losses. And a few months later, the stream of or the video of our game that I streamed was on the front page of Reddit, and it was like r/videos or something, and I got maybe 500,000 views in a single day, and it kind of and there's a huge spike in the viewership and also like ad revenue on YouTube, and I think that was kind of a inflection point where I realized that
You can actually make
it's
money out
possible
of
to go
this.
viral, and it's possible to yeah have some nice income come from like YouTube and streaming, and that drove a lot of new members to watching live on Twitch as well.
Do you think there's like a pattern to why chess streamers either get big or don't achieve as much success? Because we know the most popular and successful chess streamers. Do you think that's due to any like specific reasons that in how they present their material or how much work they do, or that they just got viral at the right moment or got that early exposure at the right moment?
Yeah, there I think is some luck component, but when you're putting so much content out there and really being consistent and doing like daily grinds, I think at some point, as long as you keep kind of refining the content and make it as good as possible, at some point, if you do go viral, what's most important is that you have a backlog of content for new viewers to kind of go down the funnel and see what else you have to offer. And I think I was lucky also with the timing that I had done hundreds of streams before I had actually like defeated Carlsen. So it was good timing on my part. But of course, the landscape is always changing, and these days there's so much chess content out there. Like now, if you check on Twitch at any moment, there's dozens, if not like over 100 different chess streamers streaming chess. So these days, I think you have to try and find ways to make your content unique, but also try and provide value in a way that maybe other content creators aren't doing.
How do you do that? What's your process? That
Um,
refining process.
yeah, for me in the beginning, it was a trying to make every stream or every video a little bit better than the last. And the biggest challenge for me was just starting, um, because I wanted to start like in 2015, uh, but I was just scared and overwhelmed of like the technical setup and speaking in front of people. Maybe I did like a few videos in 2015 if you go way back on my YouTube channel, but a big part is just consistency. And then what I did, I think helped me a lot was I I edited all my videos from Twitch to put on YouTube. So I was always watching my content back, which I know is uncomfortable for some people to like watch yourself speak and maybe cringe at moments where you didn't say things as clearly or choked on some words. But that helped me kind of reflect on what I could do better, how I can present information better. And over time, that made me more confident. And I would keep a list of like kind of cool content ideas or ways to brainstorm like new things that maybe people haven't tried yet, or ways to keep things fresh, not only for the audience but also for myself. That I still kind of go back to if I feel like I'm in a rut, then I'll just try new things on stream or try new kind of YouTube
Do you
video
find that
concepts.
overwhelming at times from a psychological perspective?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, there's definitely a factor of burnout where if I'm grinding too much, like even maybe a couple of days ago, I had streamed almost every day a week prior, and there can definitely be some like fatigue or exhaustion where I need to take a few days off just to kind of recuperate and rejuvenate. And yeah, it's probably still one of the biggest challenges is keeping a healthy balance between like creating content, but also sleeping well, eating well, getting exercise, because it's hard being your own boss where you're completely in charge of your own schedule, and it's really up to myself to determine my own routines.
That's what I felt was the most difficult part for me, at least when I was streaming, when I was doing a lot of Twitch. Just for the simple fact that, yes, your routine in general takes a hit. Your
Hmm.
sleeping schedule definitely takes a hit. Workout schedule is a big one. And for me, working out is one of the few ways I try to keep myself grounded. Also, then there's the traveling. Whenever you're going for a tournament and you don't stream, because it's so difficult to stream when you're playing a tournament or when you're doing commentary for 6 hours, and then you still have to stream to maintain that consistency, because that's a big one. I keep falling through those passages, right? Where I go 1 week I stream, or maybe 2 weeks I stream, I build up an audience, and then I have to go do commentary for 2 weeks, and then I completely fall off the wagon.
That's
That's
because
a
humans are
big
not
one
very
for me.
good without structure, yeah, in general.
That's true. Yeah.
Like we're just not built to not have structure in our lives. I mean, like not just as an individual thing, but people in general just need structure. So it's difficult to adjust to that, where things are changing constantly and you can't really get into a routine.
When you're pulled from so many angles, did you feel at any time that you're being pulled? Because you're wearing a lot of hats. Once again, you're a
Oh, sure.
photographer, you like to travel, you like to play occasionally. Did you feel like at any point it becomes extremely difficult to maintain that balance? And how do you address that?
Yeah, like all that, it's a constant challenge because it's so easy to be spread thin
Yeah.
just with all the hats I wear. And there's definitely pros and cons. Like, on one hand, because I'm doing all these things between streaming, YouTube, all like the sponsorship integrations, and then some traveling coming up, it's a lot to balance. But it also keeps things fun for myself too, and keeps things fresh and avoids kind of the redundancy. Um, so I'm trying to say no more to just opportunities because I get dozens of messages per day of people asking for various things, and there's only so much I can do. I'm trying to outsource more work now too. I've actually hired my mom as kind of an assistant for me to manage emails and handle a lot on the back end with bookkeeping and taxes and random paperwork, and it's been great to kind of have kind of a stress relief or less things to worry about. I also have Jonathan Trantz, goes by
Shout
Vampire
out to
Chicken
Jonathan.
on
Yeah.
Twitch, who does a lot of
Vampire
editing
Chicken.
work.
Yeah.
Exactly. So he handles like my whole clips channel on YouTube, and yeah, I'm realizing that outsourcing work is a very useful thing in kind of keeping that life work balance.